In this business, finding a deal is very important. You have to find an undervalued property that you can fix up and then sell for a profit. So you need enough meat on the bones for everyone, if you're partnering, for everyone to walk away with a sizable amount of profit that everyone's happy with. Now, as important as finding a deal is, which it is very, very important. It's pretty much the best skill that you can have in this game. Something else that is, in my opinion, just as important is finding deals. It is funding deals. It's funding the flips. Now in this video, I can share with you just a few of many ways that you can fund your flip. Okay, so I'm just going to break it down in 3 simple ways. You have a lot more options than what I'm going to give you. I'm just going to give you the 3 ways that we have funded our deals, that they're the most common with what I've experienced. Number 1 is your own money. It really depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking to dip your toe in the water and just start off with doing 1 flip and get a bunch of experience and get a ton of networking, a ton of confidence in what you're doing, then using your own money could be a pretty good play. However, if you are looking to scale up, then using your own money is very inefficient. So let's say, for example, you are going to be buying a property for $100,000 and putting $30,000 into it. With holding costs, with insurance, with a few other costs that'll go down along the way, you're going to have to come up with, over $130,000 cash of your own money. This can be done through savings. This can be done through, your own retirement account. This can be done through lines of credit, personal or business, a home equity line of credit, but it will take a fair bit of time before you can save up enough cash for you to flip a property using your own money. Now, we put a fair bit of our own money into our deals. We don't put all of it by any means, but we do put a sizable chunk of our own cash into the deals to get them going. As I said before, I wouldn't recommend this to people unless you are just going to be doing 1 flip, dipping your toe in the water and getting the experience and the confidence up in flipping. If you are going to be doing that, then using your own cash is great. Now, number 2, we love this. This is amazing. It is OPM, other people's money. When you eventually scale up in your flipping business, this is something that you will need 100%. Unless you win the lottery, then you will have to use other people's money in some way, shape, or form. This can be anything from seller financing, which is awesome. So one of our bigger deals in Southeast Cape on the river. So a big chunk of that deal was seller financed. So the seller had enough equity in the property, she'd actually paid it off, but she had enough equity in the property that she could hold second position on the mortgage, and that way we could get the deal funded so we can go in there, rehab it, and then eventually sell it. Seller financing is really good if the seller who you're buying it from, if they own the house free and clear. That way you're not really going to have any issues with other banks. If they owe a bank $100,000 on a $400,000 house, you won't have any really issues with that. So if they own it free and clear, then that's perfect for seller financing. There are many ways that you can structure seller financing deals. So let's just say you have the property on a contract for $200,000, and when you finish with it, you're going to put $40,000 into it, and when it's going to be done, it's going to be worth $420,000, something like that. So you're going to go to the seller and say, Mr. Seller, we have it on a contract right now for $300,000. We're going to put about $40,000 into it. If you're willing to put the $340,000 of total purchase and renovation costs into this deal, I will pay you a 10% interest and a 1 point, which is a origination fee, like a 1% of the total asking of the total seller financing loan. That way you go into the deal with $0 out of pocket. Everything is funded. All you have to do is get the contractor to go in there, rehab the property, and then sell it. You're happy because you get your deal funded, and the seller is happy because they are making money from the 10% and the 1 point, as an example, from the money they would make from your loan. You can use retirement accounts. Now, we've used this a fair bit with relatives and friends and associates, people who have their money in stocks. They are kind of nervous where the stock market is going, so they want to take it out and put it into something a lot more stable, like real estate, something secure, something that's insured, something that has its actually physical asset, not something that is unsecured, like a Tesla stock or something like that. So how you can structure the retirement account funding, for example, if you were using a 401k, you would use a third-party custodian, and they would be like a trust company. So they would charge you a fee anywhere between $200 and $400 per transaction. They would grab the money from the retirement account and they would bring it over to the title company, and it wouldn't touch your hands at all. That way it can give the lender peace of mind that their money isn't going to be taken to foul play or something like that, and your deal is funded. So it's similar to seller financing, but it's going to be the retirement account from one of your friends, families, or associates that's going to be paying for the deal. A line of credit. That can either be a business, a personal, or a home equity line of credit. Now these are great because if someone has been sitting on their home for 20 years, they've been paying it off, they have, $150,000 in equity on their home, they can just go to their bank and write a check for the amount of money that you need to purchase and rehab the property. For example, they might be paying, 4 or 5% on their loan, on their line of credit, and the money that they loan to you, they would charge, for example, something like 10%. That way you get your deal funded, and they are making money from the equity in their home that they haven't even tapped into yet. So it's a huge win-win situation. All right, the third one is hard money. So hard money is a short-term lender. That's something that we use for every single one of our deals. Hard money lenders are not a conventional bank, so you're not going to go to Chase Bank and ask them for a hard money loan. Hard money lenders, just a small group of unconventional lenders. So we would close a deal, for example, we would close a deal in 2 weeks. There'll be a lot less regulation in the way that they need to, abide by different rules. So when you're buying a loan through a conventional bank, they look at you as the asset because you'll be paying the 30-year fixed mortgage. But with a hard money lender, they look at your deal, at your flip as the asset. So for example, if you bring them a deal, you say, hey, I have a deal right now I need funded. I'm buying it for $200,000. I'm going to be putting $50,000 into it. Here is the quote from the contractor. And when I'm done, it's going to be worth $350,000. That way we have $100,000 equity. That way it's going to have, about 35 to 40% equity in the property, which is really good. And if you approach a hard money lender with figures like that as an example, then there is a really good chance that they would fund your deal. So how hard money lenders work, they typically pay for a percentage of the purchase price or a percentage of the rehab price, or both. So for example, our hard money lender, they pay for 70% of the purchase price and 100% of the rehab price. That has to total up to no more than 85% of total cost. So 85% of purchase and rehab budget. So we're spending $400,000 on the purchase and the rehab of the property. They can't lend more than 85% of that total. That way they have leverage just in case we default on the loan. And this is the same thing as the other lenders. They will charge something along the lines of 10 to 12% and 2 points. So again, 2 points is just an origination fee, a percentage of the loan. So if you borrow $100,000 and they charge the 10%, then that would just be an annual percentage. And if they charge 2 points, that's just $2,000 straight up, just for the generosity of having their money. One of the great things about hard money lenders is that typically they have very deep pockets in who they network with and who they connect with, who they get their money through. So they could have, for example, $100 million in a fund that they will be lending out to different flippers and real estate investors like myself. So with us, we have about 4 properties, under the hammer at a time. To the hard money lenders, they do have enough money to pay for all of our deals, which is fantastic. Well, 85% of all of our deals. And then the 15%, which is left over, which is what you'll need gap funding for. That is when you go back to the other 2 points, which is you could be using your own cash, you could be using other people's cash, a line of credit, retirement accounts, anything that you can do to get the gap funding done for the deal, then that's amazing. You can do this with other investors as well. This is something that I've experienced, networking with investors who have gone from active to more passive real estate, where they are sitting on a little bit of cash. They don't really want to they're kind of sick of doing 20 years of flipping, and then want to go to more the passive side, the lending side. So that's when we offer them a deal of the gap funding, and they would offer us for a 10% or something like that. So networking, that is going to be the best way for you to find your hard money lenders, as well as your OPM, other people's money. That's when you can find other investors, you can find family and friends. Just tell everybody what you're doing, and as long as you have a really good deal, there is a phenomenal chance that you will get it funded. Just keep your ears to the ground, talk to the right people, offer value, and you will have no choice but to succeed in this industry. Kind of just thinking about what I was saying in the video, what I said to a lot of beginners may go straight over their head. So if anyone needs any clarification on any of the terms I was using, such as points, percentage, after repair value, loan to cost, anything like that, hard money, anything like that, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to speak with anyone. I was in this position just over a year ago, not really knowing much about real estate, about the funding, about the finding the deals or anything like that. So if you have any questions, any detailed questions that you need answered in terms of how to fund real estate investments, please reach out to me. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I really appreciate it. Hope you got something out of it. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.